I asked you guys what you guys thought of the new update. And what you said was quite interesting. I'm going to be doing two things in this video. One, looking at what you guys said, and two, giving my opinions on this Jurassic Blocky update. About 5% of people actually make it to 1,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for taking me to that top 5%. We're not at 1,000 yet, so smash that subscribe button if you really want to get there. So here's the poll. 61% of you said amazing/peak, 28% said pretty darn good, 7% said mid as heck, and 3% said as bad as Scorp and Tarbo users, which is unredeemable. Now, it does not surprise me at all that a majority of people said peak. What you come to know about the Jurassic fan base is that everyone is super passionate. And so they either are on the far side of I hate everything about this franchise because it's not as good as the old days, or I love everything about this franchise because it is as good as the old days. Let's look at what the update brought. The biggest change, disputably, is the map. Now, people are going to say that Allo was the biggest thing, but in reality, it's the map. Come on, that took the most time. That was what everybody was hyped about. And honestly, it's what's made the game so much fun over the last couple weeks. Then, at number 2 is the Allosaurus remodel, which is one of the best remodels I think I've ever seen, and we'll get into that later. The reason maps are so highly requested, and the reason Jurassic Blocky loves changing maps so often, is because it gives it that new feel. Like, every single time you're going to a new place, and you can kind of get used to that map. Now, this map is infinitely better than the snow map, and I honestly am going to do a deep dive in a different video about why this map is infinitely better. To get back to the point, the fans love new maps, and that's probably why 60% of you said that this was a peak update, like best of the best. There is a case to be said that since this game hasn't been alive for too long, that there's really not been that many peak updates, but I'd say this is one of the better ones, and we had to wait so long for it that it really made it sweet when it happened. I will say the update hype has since kind of died down, which is to be expected, but with the Rebirth update, that was for a good 3 weeks where we had just 13k concurrent viewers for a long time. So they did something worse in this update than the Rebirth update, and again, we can pack that down. The main reason this update might have felt like a lesser update is because there just wasn't that many mechanical things. I mean, all we really got was a new map, a bunch of new skins, and a lot of balance changes. I actually like this update a lot more than I liked the Rebirth update, though, because the Rebirth update was all jam-packed into one, and this way they have an opportunity to separate everything out and give more long-term engagement, which is really smart. It also gives them a chance to look at what they've done and say, oh, I don't really like this aspect, or look at how the fans have reacted, like in these videos, and say, oh, they don't like this aspect, or they don't like A and B, and they can quickly change that. And now they're not set in a huge update where that's a core mechanic now. The problem is that obviously it's going to mean less views overall for Jurassic Blocky, and that's not always true. I mean, obviously, over an extended period of time, there are definitely events that do better with that, but I think for this case, the viewership has been the player base has been quite a bit reduced since the Rebirth update. 28% of people said pretty darn good, and I kind of can get where that is. I kind of fall in the middle of peak and pretty darn good because, again, there really wasn't that much in this update, but everything they did was really impactful. One of the most unappreciated changes that they made was completely reworking Trike. I mean, they didn't change the model or the attacks or anything, but they made it bigger by like a huge amount. It's some of those little things that in a few weeks we're going to start realizing and we're going to be like, oh, shoot, this is a part of the game now. And that's when the update starts to take full effect. They really did do a lot. We just haven't found it yet. 7% said mid as heck, which I really don't agree with. I think mid as heck was the Christmas update. And I don't want to be harsh or anything, but the Christmas update, had basically the same skins. They brought in a lot of really good skins, but again, they just kind of reused the stuff from the Rebirth update. And by that point, I had already gotten tired because I had already grinded everything from the Rebirth update. I'm not going to lie, there was a lot wrong with the Christmas update. But I think this one falls in a tier of its own, way above that, because this update has found something that I think Jurassic Blocky needed. Let's get into point number 2. I feel like Jurassic Blocky really needed the new map for a couple of reasons. I think having the dinosaurs in the snow felt really off-putting. And I'm not going to lie, the town also felt off-putting. It's like the peak environment for a Spinosaurus not to be. So I think in the total grand scheme of things, this map is really, really good, and it fits the exact style a dinosaur game should. And one thing that this map does that the other map failed at miserably is vibrance. I think this map has beautiful colors. It's fun to look at. It's fun to walk your dinosaurs around. You actually want to go exploring. It's like a jungle. And honestly, I do wish it was bigger, but that would, spread the player base, which might not be a huge problem because, again, the map ain't even that big. I do really like the caves. I feel like that vibrance is what just made the map boom. Like, this map might be my favorite map that we've gotten other than the Rebirth map, and the Rebirth map was pretty good. I think the Rebirth map was great because it just kind of fit that perfect middle zone. Like, it was just, the volcano in the middle, or like the big mountain in the middle, and you got all that wide space. And yes, people only hung out by the D-Rex boss, but that created for some really good times. I remember having a ton of friends made from that specific area before I was doing YouTube. And I was always in the fields, and I was grinding, and it was really fun. I think that we just did not give enough appreciation for that Rebirth map. What made that map so great, and what about this map makes it kind of like that? Well, I think the last map had a lot of open space, but there were interesting parts sprinkled around, like the gas station, like the cemetery for the Halloween update. There were a lot of things where it was just, you could go explore those if you wanted to off by yourself, but they weren't forced in your face. The problem with the Christmas map was that the town was forced in your face, right in the middle, and you don't really want to congregate in the town because, it doesn't feel like where a dinosaur should be. And that's what I felt was kind of lackluster about that map. Also, the map felt really confined and small because the parts that had been expanded had already been explored. So I think the wide space needs to be in the middle because that's where people are congregating. Now, this map has a huge lake area, which is great. And again, that's where people congregate, is the water areas. Almost like we are actual animals and we congregate by those wide spaces. We have that natural ability as humans. It's quite interesting, isn't it? That even in a video game, we still congregate towards the water. It's like a necessity, even if we're not actually there. But I think this map has a lot of the features, and there's a lot of places where you can just do interesting scenes. If you're shooting for a movie, doing a tournament, just hanging out with like a streamer or something, and the streamer wants to find a spot. If you're making a YouTube video, anything under that lens, there's so many interesting areas. I also feel like the addition of the swamp was a huge one. I mean, the swamp is absolutely beautiful, and I think it creates for a completely different biome within a biome. It creates an atmosphere. And once, maybe a spooky season rolls around, if we're still on this map, that swamp could be potentially a really cool place to do that. Talking about the Allosaurus now, I think the Allosaurus remodel was amazing. First off, to correct those who are saying Allosaurus got worse, Allosaurus 100% did not get worse. Its attack points got relocated, but there was no loss in stats. And its ultimate is better, no matter what you say. It's an incredibly competitive dinosaur. Now, does it still struggle against higher class dinosaurs? Obviously, it's a tier 3. It's not going to go against tier 4s. But Allosaurus is an incredible dinosaur against dinosaurs of its own tier. Another plus is that it has beautiful skins. Walking around with Allosaurus feels like you're the boss because the skins just look that good. It was Rappo or something who made the ink spot Allosaurus skin. It might actually be my favorite skin in the game. In all my videos, if you've seen recently, have mostly been with that skin and Allosaurus because it just looks so beautiful. Now, what I would want is a similar design skin for Spinosaurus or some dinosaur with bland skins like Trike. Give not the exact same design. Don't copy and paste. But have artists come in and create designs for these dinosaurs because the way they did this Allo was so good. I 100% approve. And I want Jurassic Blocky to see this and say, oh shoot, the fans want more of this because we do. Those skins are so cool. And they're genuinely it was so cheap that I didn't even have to think twice about buying it, right? If you need to make them expensive, then go ahead and do that. But I think the way that you made it kind of affordable is really nice because in the grand scheme of things, it's a community made design or at least from an artist, and I think that should be accessible to everyone. And the way they did it was absolutely perfect. Everyone loves this skin. Everyone uses it. In fact, everyone always compliments me on my choice of skin with Allo because it's that good. like maybe the best skin in the game, and there's really no competition. Maybe a video idea for me on that one. For those of you, about the 10% of you who ran mid as heck and as bad as Scorpion Turbo users, and nothing is as bad as Scorpion Turbo users, so I don't even know what you guys are on. But for those of you who ran that, I don't really know what about the update made you hate it so much. Maybe one of your favorite dinosaurs got a nerf. That's probably what it is, because there were so many balance changes, and I went through it all in a video if you want to go check it out. With that, that's your guys' opinions and my opinions on the new update. I have so many video ideas, and they're all going to be coming out soon, so get ready because I have a lot coming up. Without further ado, have a good day. Zilla Blade out.